Hey gang, it's been a while since we broadcast live, and we've always had a lot of technical problems with things, and we're trying a different thing. We're trying the Google Hangouts, although I hate the Google logo on the video, absolutely hate it. But I guess that's one of the things about using their software. They have to promote themselves, have to promote their brand. And we actually just went to the YouTube event that Google put on here. And that was a lot of fun. What did you think of that event had here? It's like, what, the fifth, sixth event that they've had, YouTube's had here?
Yes, but it was the first YouTube Fan Fest Creators Academy in the Philippines. So it's so cool that we were able to attend the event, and it's actually the nth event that we have been invited to. And it was just fun. It was fun meeting the other YouTubers. But for Travis, the things that were discussed in the YouTube Creators Academy were not new to him anymore.
It's all stuff new. Basically, the YouTube Creator Academy was classes that they had to take. This is the fifth or sixth YouTube event in the Philippines over the past about maybe a year or a year and a half is when they started. We've been to all of them now except for one. And they've all been very different from each other. They've all had different purposes. The previous one to this one, actually, they held it at Bubba Gump's in Makati, in Greenbelt. And I really like that restaurant because I really like that type of food, that kind of Cajun or Louisiana style food. To me, that's one of my favorite styles of cuisine. But some of the food, actually at the one at Bubba Gump's, they had a buffet of Bubba Gump stuff. And at this last one that we were just at, they also had a buffet.
And that was more like a cocktail type of.
Yeah, it wasn't as elaborate. It was a little bit, the buffet was more like snack food. And the thing that I didn't like about it was the food was Asian food. They had, and which was weird to me because they had Asian style food. Because I guess because they're thinking, well, we're holding it in Asia, but it's mostly probably put on by their office in Singapore. But the Asian themed food, but it wasn't Filipino themed food. It was just kind of random, generic. When an American thinks of Asian style food, that kind of stuff, the real generic stuff.
I think the other. YouTube Pulse. That one big event of YouTube in the Philippines was also super fun. Yeah. And for sure, that there were many food there. It was like a feast as well. So that one in Bubba Gump would be my favorite YouTube events. The criteria would include food.
And at YouTube Pulse, they had really good food. They had a wide variety. It's funny, though, at this last one, they had a lot of people that were younger. And like maybe 14, 15 years old.
Teenagers.
This one was a little bit less exclusive than the other ones. The other ones were like much more, I mean, this one, I think it was also invite only, but they widened it up to the type of people that they would have there. And they had a lot more young people. And someone complained, they said, oh, at this YouTube event, they're not serving booze. Because at the other ones, people had a bunch, I guess, a buffet of booze.
Oh, yeah, on the at YouTube Pulse, they served like
wine. They had really expensive
like,
drinks at that one.
Yeah, like, what is that? Kind of like ladies' drink. So a little bit of alcohol in it.
Yeah, they had like people could get drunk. Not that I noticed anyone getting drunk at those other ones or losing
control. Just social
control.
Drinking.
But someone complained like, oh, they have kids at this one. I think that's why they're not serving booze. I don't know if the guy was an alcoholic. He couldn't control himself and just wanted free booze. But booze here isn't, I mean, for you drinkers out there, it's not expensive.
Also, it's like a common thing among Filipino locations. Even if, it's just common.
Filipinos love to drink, and you often see them drinking in the streets constantly.
As early as what time?
Oh, all throughout the day, I suppose.
Yeah, and Travis would just be greeted like, "Hi, hi, my friend. Hi, my friend." That's that one guy nearby that would always greet you, and they would offer like a drink.
Well, I was killing some time with that story. It wasn't the best story in the world. Waiting for people in the room. Like I said, we're using Google Hangouts. I don't know if this
For
is
the first time.
I wasn't even sure if this was actually streaming to YouTube, even though it said it was, but we have proof because we have some people in the room. We have Chevy Bandman.
Hi, Chevy.
Watching from Tulsa, Oklahoma. I've been to Oklahoma. I've been to, I think it's called Lawton, Oklahoma. And I've been to Oklahoma City. And we have another viewer, CDO345. Thank you guys. I'm coming soon. Bruce from Oregon,
Hi,
USA.
Bruce. I like your name, Bruce.
Well,
Bruce Lee.
well, at least we know that it's working and we can get to the meat and potatoes of the show.
Chevy, and we do want first, cool people to join us in the room right now. Hope you can hang with us.
What's funny, I always want this to be like a radio talk show, just kind of have fun and talk about different topics. But every time before we're about to start, it's always very frustrating to set up, and there's always problems. You'd think Google would have better technology, but I always get all worked up before doing this. I just want to have fun.
You can
There's always
relax.
some complicated monkey wrench that's thrown into my plan. It's almost as bad as someone coming and licking my donuts.
Oh, Ariana, you?
I'm just kidding. I didn't see that. I didn't see her lick the donuts in the
I
video. They
didn't
keep
see
saying
that either,
licks
yeah.
the donuts. To me, it looks like she put her face close to the donuts and sniffed the donuts.
Yeah.
And I don't even know who this girl is.
You just knew about her.
I heard
because
about
of
her
that
from this story.
controversy.
Yeah. So I didn't see her lick the donuts. I think that's made up and exaggerated.
Mhm.
And in terms of I hate Americans, I think it's pretty clear that she wasn't being serious when she said that. She was just kind of venting, and I believe she was stoned on marijuana and just relaxed. That's what other people said. I read that online.
Really?
So
Okay.
that she was just kind of stoned, which I guess that would explain why she's in a donut shop. I guess it makes sense now that I think of it. I mean, why else would you just? Who goes to donut shops, especially rich, multi-millionaire, young, hot pop stars? So
Maybe that's the nearest place to go to wherever they were at that time.
because she's stoned, and then ran on about how she hates America and hates Americans, but it's not like she was saying that in a very serious tone of voice where she's like, man, I want ISIS to come in and destroy these infidels or anything like that. She's just having a private conversation with a friend, and obviously she didn't mean what she said.
I think she was just being her age, and just a human being who would casually say these things. The thing is, she's a public figure. She's famous. So wherever she is, people could easily say something about what she does. She can easily be judged, and just like what happened.
Yeah, with leaked security camera footage.
I know. And you know what? Other companies, they're asked to when they're asked to use their security camera, like for crime investigation, stuff like that, they wouldn't really allow that. But that camera was just used, no permission needed, because the owner just really wanted to show it to the world, I guess. What do you post it first?
I guess she also a little bit rude to the employee working
I
in there,
see.
which is probably the biggest sin, to be disrespectful to the employee. But the bottom line is, she's really young. When we're young, we all do kind of silly, dumb little things. It's just if you're famous like that, it happens to get caught on camera, and people exploit you. So people are like, hey, if we were any of us that were that age, if we had a camera on us at all times, it'd capture some pretty weird, nutty things that you could make a big deal about. But definitely when you throw how young she is, and someone that they're not going to be really mature. But then you throw money, power, and fame into the equation, they're not going to be normal people, and we can't really hold them to the same standards. Not that we should excuse anything they do, but we got to understand, like, they've got to live. These people live crazy lives, and they're in situations and circumstances that the rest of us just couldn't understand.
Well, you can see it. You can see it from 2 points of view, right? One from her point. I mean, you understand her as a human being. She could still do the usual stuff. She could still say whatever she wanted to say.
She can get stoned and go out for donuts.
But as a public figure, as someone that young people look up to or idolize because of, she has this influence on them. I guess she also has to be responsible with her actions, with her words. And from the fans, from her followers, I think, I don't know if it's easy to do for fans, like if you're really super fan of someone, like to look at the person not like a god or goddess, but just look at her as someone
unless they're looking at me, then
who could inspire them, because you know that story you told me, like that kid who's a fan of hers who cried or whatever.
Well, it's kind of like the comment from Sea-Doo here, where he says she has problems. Read her Facebook. And I actually was on her Facebook the other night after, because I Googled her just to find out who she is. And I was reading the comments that people were leaving for her. They were intense. Some of them were very funny. I thought about just doing a video where I read some of the comments that are on her Facebook of how angry people are. To me, much ado about nothing.
Is that really her Facebook that she personally?
Yeah, I believe so.
Takes care of.
But I was mainly reading the comments that people were leaving for her. I don't need her half-hearted apologies. I don't need to waste time with that. I want to see the vicious, vile hatred that people are sending towards her. Because normally when I'm reading vicious, vile hatred on the internet, it's directed towards me. Think about that. As soon as I wake up in the morning, if I click the YouTube comments, I have to read all this terrible stuff about myself. You got to be really grounded psychologically, I think, to handle something like that. And to me, I'm an adult, and I'm so used to it. And to me, I just feel like most of it rolls off my back. Even the death threats that I get, that we talk about, the occasional death threat, it doesn't bother me. To me, it's just par for the course. But I can imagine a kid, even like a teenager, definitely younger, if they became had a popular YouTube channel, how are they going to deal with these things psychologically?
Exactly. Well,
because when you're at a more impressionable, vulnerable age, and you're at an age where people they care more about what you have, what others say about them. And it's probably not easy for any age you get. And a lot of the times, I know very big YouTube creators, a lot of them are still very sensitive when someone directs something hateful towards them. But I guess to me, I just expect it. And I also understand that when people say these really terrible things, a lot of the times it doesn't even have anything to do with you. It's they're angry and they want to vent, and they want, they're frustrated and they feel like they want to get something out of their system. And to me, that's all it is. I can understand that. I don't think that makes it right to do that, but I can understand. The other reason I get angry is most of the time on the internet, you really don't know who's on the other end of it. Even if they have a picture and what appears to be in a real name, it might be like a pretty young girl, but really it's like some disgusting, gross dude on the other end. And that's like trying to make you feel bad as a hot chick saying bad things about you. But it's just some gross guy on the other end that's angry because his life isn't very good.
That's true.
And I actually just saw a really nasty comment before starting this thing from a Filipina. And I think this is legit. I think it was her real name and real face, maybe 20-something, early 20s Filipina, and she cussed me out and she left some very not so nice words for me. She left some gay slurs directed towards me.
Sleazy, I would say.
Sleazy, yeah, really sleazy young girl. And I guess that shows you, well, to me, my thought was all she's doing is making a lot of, first of all, it wasn't in English, so maybe Americans and non-Filipinos wouldn't understand what she was saying. It was in Filipino. But I was thinking, she's just going to, if Americans read that, well, part of it was in English where she told me to, some of the slur stuff directed at me, that was in English. I was just thinking that if an American reads that, it's kind of making Filipino girls look bad because it makes them look like sleazy, nasty, dirty whores.
Sad to say, but
and a lot of them are like that. A lot of,
or many of us are not like that.
but a lot, it's weird because on one hand they try and sell you this image of Filipinas that they're all such good girls and they're all sweet and nice. Well, I can tell you that's not the case. There are a lot of just nasty, vile, hateful, like gross girls here. The things that girl said would stand in the way for a lady to talk. So
not so ladylike.
Not so ladylike, but one thing that I did want to bring up, not to bring up personal problems or personal pain, but something that was interesting. Your brother is having some difficulties in life. We're not going to get into the details. And I was just thinking, it reminds me of myself when you get angry and frustrated and you end up at a crossroads and you don't know where you should go. Should I keep going? Should I stay the course and keep toughing it out and eventually force it to happen? Or should I just change and do something else? And I've been at that point definitely with my career path and what I do. I've been at that career path so many times where you're is it really worth going on? Is this really what I'm meant to do? Or should I just, I know it's going to be tough. Should I just stay the course? So that's something that I understand. I think that most people that watch my videos don't really see that side of it. They think everything's honky-dory all the time. And they think that you get everything that you've gotten very easily.
Well, they don't understand that because it's either they haven't experienced it yet or they don't have that open mind to understand what really happens. Although we're not meant to understand everything that happens in life. Life is filled with ups and downs, but everything are actually going to help us, going to help you as long as you have attitude, because it is one of the storms that come when we actually become stronger and better, we're more polished. So things like that happen, and I guess we just have to keep the faith and keep going.
I hope this is showing well, for people on YouTube, and they can access it easily. Normally we have a lot more people. This, like I said, these Google Hangouts, man, it's frustrating. One of the things they talked about at the Creator Academy is that you should live stream. Well, that can be very difficult in the Philippines because most people don't have good internet. And on top of that, Google really hasn't improved. They haven't improved their service of the technology of their software of making it easy. I mean, the fact that I spend so much time on YouTube, but I always have difficulty setting up a live stream. I can never get software to work well, and there's always weird glitches and stuff like that. I think it tells you something that they need to really improve their service.
Do you think the internet connection is also a factor?
No, it's not a factor for some stuff, but like I said, it's weird because normally we should have a lot more people in the room right now. I feel like maybe they're not getting it in their subscription.
I have a question to Sido. C-Do345 and to Shelley. Did you see this from your Google Plus page or from YouTube? Because, yeah,
How are they finding
we're
this?
wondering if everyone on YouTube,
Not sure my subscribers are getting
sees
it.
this. So
Or they get it from the Facebook that we shared it from.
that's also possible.
So I'm not sure if this is working, if the subscribers are even
But
getting
Shelby
this.
and Siju must be leaving comments from their YouTube, right? Right, guys? It's not from Google Plus.
But something I
know.
want to bring up that I haven't announced publicly yet is I'm coming out with a book, and it's basically it's done, it's written, and it's a book like kind of a guide about moving to the Philippines, because I always get asked questions about moving to the Philippines. So I have a book that'll be coming out, a guide to moving to the Philippines, and I've been trying to take, before it's really final, it's written, but I make sure I didn't leave anything out. So I've been asking people across my social media accounts, what would you want to know about moving to the Philippines? If you're at all interested, and by the way, even if you don't plan on moving to the Philippines, I think you'll still enjoy the book, because I think it's going to be entertaining and maybe some different takeaways besides even if you're not going to move, there should be some takeaways, I think, that you should be able to use in life. And maybe you don't know if you want to move to the Philippines, and this book would also help you decide. But I've been asking people across all my social media, what would you want to know about moving to the Philippines? What questions would you have? So before the book's really out, I can get some of the questions. It's not that they're bad questions, but they're very specific, like things that are very specific to one particular guy, and it wouldn't make sense to put in a book that's for a wider audience.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe I will, some of these specific questions, like I said, they're not bad questions. Maybe I'll do a video eventually where I answer some of those very specific questions, and then hopefully I get some good questions too that are something that I could appeal to a little bit more broad. All I really do is give people information and knowledge and help them to decide. And definitely, if you're going to do something like move to a whole foreign country, you're going to make some mistakes regardless of reading a book first. But the point is to minimize those mistakes, and hopefully whatever mistakes that you make, they're not costly mistakes. They're not something that they're not mistakes that you lose your head, you don't lose your life savings, you don't lose something that's gonna, you don't lose your peace of mind and then live a very stressful life, because otherwise what's the point? So the idea is that we're going to help you minimize the mistakes so you don't lose something too great or something too dear to you. And the other mistakes that you make on your journey, they're just, learning mistakes.
Charge to experience. There would be it's more about helping you guys prepare for a trip to the Philippines. And
moving to
the Philippines. Another thing is you could read stuff online or in other books, but there's always a difference between, theoretical knowledge and the hands-on experience that you really have and you get to share with other people. So, and speaking of questions, people ask a lot of questions that Travis gets tons of emails every day. But you know what, guys? To you, our Patreon family, you can easily email us, ask us anything. And if you are not yet part of our Patreon family, feel free to be part of it. Just check out the link is patreon.com/craft. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's the link right now.
Yeah.
It's right there. It's in the description.
Yeah.
But yes, for those that have been supporting us on our crowdfunding Patreon, that's one of the greatest benefits. Anytime they have a question, and we've had a lot of questions, they can just email us and we get back to them. We use both our brains as our resources.
Experiences.
So yeah, like we hook them up with whatever they need in terms of advice. And one of our supporters in our family that we have there, Joey, he just asked me a question. These questions don't have to be about the Philippines, like for our Patreon family. But Joey asked me a question. It had nothing to do with the Philippines. And so I gave him, because, well, it just wasn't related. I don't know if it's of any interest to anyone else, but they don't have to be questions about the Philippines. It's not the only thing I know about. That's not the only thing I care about in my life by any means. And I think it's funny too, because I think people think that I spend a lot of time on YouTube watching videos about the Philippines, or I want to watch movies about the Philippines. I don't watch much of that stuff at all because I'm not interested. If I want to see the Philippines, I'll just walk outside the door right now and I'll see it. I see the Philippines. I'm up to here in the Philippines every day. If I'm going to watch something especially if it's for entertainment, I want to see something else. I want to see something different. And it's like people would find that surprising because for whatever reason, people think my whole life is about the Philippines. And even this channel, it's went in a direction that it became almost about the Philippines, and people think of this as the Filipino channel and not the Travis Craft channel. And I want to do different types of. I know a lot of people just want that knowledge about the Philippines, but they can buy the book, they can be a patron and support us on Patreon. They can. I have a consulting thing where, for a small fee, like I answer their questions, things that could potentially save them a lot of money or save them a lot of heartache. So if you really want that knowledge for me, there's still ways to get it. And any type of content I do, I really want to be good content, hopefully. Things that can appeal to a fairly broad people, like that they can all enjoy. The way this channel was before came back in 2012 when I was just doing a lot of fun, random stuff, but I think good stuff. So today's the first day the sun has been out.
After how many days? Like a week?
Yeah, it's been a week. Like no sun. Haven't gotten any vitamin D for the week. So when I got up this morning and saw the sun shining a little bit, went straight up to the roof, no shirt on, tried to soak up a little bit of vitamin D. So I was out there for like 10 minutes or whatever. It's not totally sunny, although it looks like it's getting more sunny out.
Yeah, hopefully it will go well like this.
I don't mind rainy days because I think it's kind of nice, especially say you live in a place like Los Angeles where it's almost always sunny. Whenever it rains in Los Angeles, I'm happy about it. Some people are like, oh man, this stinks, it's raining. But I'm always very happy about it because it's like it's nice to finally have a change and a change of environment. And someone once said that there's no such thing as bad weather, just different kinds of good weather. So I try my best to have that philosophy, but I try and get out, like for the past few months now, I've been trying to get out in the sun just a little bit every day just to get some vitamin D. Like for the past weekend, I haven't had any. So
you're still good. I mean, like you still have stocks of vitamin D inside, I guess.
Yeah, I think I was actually
like daily, like bathing under the sun.
Well, I think I actually for a while, I think I was actually, believe it or not, even in the Philippines this time. I think I had a deficiency of vitamin D. I don't know that for a fact because I never went in and saw a doctor to get tested. But I think I actually had a deficiency of vitamin D. So then I had to, I started going out. Like I did some research online. I thought maybe I'm lacking vitamin D. Maybe that's a bit of my problem. So then I just started going out and taking my shirt off every day just on the roof.
Taking your shirt off?
And it's hard though for people in say like Europe or North America during certain months of the year to do that. But maybe you can take supplements. But I'm not a believer that supplements are as good as going out in the sun for just a few minutes.
Squash is also a good source of vitamin D, right?
Not
I
really.
eat squash. Do you? Do you eat squash?
Not
He
really.
doesn't.
That's the thing. You can't, like, if you really want vitamin D, but you're in a like wintry place
Uh-huh.
or Seattle or someplace like that, I think you really have to take supplements. You shouldn't rely on food, because in food, it's in even food that has vitamin D. I think it's in very minute quantities. So you'd be better off just getting a supplement, going on Amazon, something like that. But I'm glad the sun is finally back.
I know. Guys, what are you doing? I hope I share my coffee with you. This is just like, simple pleasure in life for me.
And my simple pleasure is drinking soda, but I'm not having any now. I'm having
Water.
some water. And
Yeah, let's start to look at the comments if we got new comments here.
it's late at night in the U.S.
Actually, yeah, it is. They said it's like, I saw a comment somewhere. Was it Chevy or C2? One of them said it's 11:55 there in the evening. Chevy mentioned visa
Guessing.
extension, safe places to live, housing costs. Those are really good points to talk about, to write. And speaking of questions also, one common question that we get from our Patreon family is how to get married in the Philippines. And I'm just so happy that out of the questions I answered, I think all of them who asked us about how to get married in the Philippines are already married now. So I just love it.
Those are very detailed questions that take a lot of time of you to research and then get back to people. For those people extra and giving us extra, helping us bring these videos, we're happy to do it.
Of course.
And we're very thankful that people are supporting us on Patreon, because I tell you, I think crowdfunding is a game changer. And there's a lot of people that are making a living off of YouTube. I'm not, but I know there's other people that they've run very successful Patreon campaigns. And because of that, they can spend all their time just running their channel and producing content for their audience. Whereas, off the little ads that are on the videos, you'll never be able to do that.
Yeah.
So it's and my Patreon, I think I get a little over 300 per month now. Helpful, but by no means are you going to be doing YouTube. Can you live off of that or really do YouTube full time? Well, I've noticed there's creators that have like thousands coming in every month. I mean, it all relates to how much value their audience sees in it.
Yeah.
First of all, you have to have an audience, and it should be a decent sized audience. And it should also be the right kind of audience, people that are willing
True.
to support you, and your content should really mean something to them.
That's true. And like what I always say, we have endless thanks in our heart to our Patreon family, because of them, we're able to keep entertaining, informing, and inspiring you guys on YouTube through the videos that we make. And of course, just hearing words, reading your comments on Facebook every time Travis uploads new videos, they're all heartwarming to us. So thank you guys, just like you, Chevy, Sidu, yeah, there. And I think they answered my question earlier. Chevy said he added you or me or us to his family circle on Google. Oh, Sidu said, let me see. Sidu has a girlfriend in the Philippines, and he said he hasn't been here yet. You're Bruce Cunningham. I had a friend.
No relation to Richie Cunningham.
Oh, the happy days. I know. Actually, I was just going to say, I had a friend whose last name is Cunningham. He was fondly called Uncle Joe. He lived in Guam, but now he already left ahead of us. I love that guy.
He died.
Yeah.
He didn't leave Guam.
He already left the world.
Left this plane of existence.
Yeah.
Just to clarify. Because otherwise they'll think he just left Guam or left the Philippines.
And he used to visit the Philippines a lot. We used to tease him like he was a white guy trapped. He was a Filipino trapped in a white guy's body.
What do they say? Why did they say that? Exactly.
Because he loves Filipino culture. He loves Filipinos, and he's always like, even like in events, music, most special. He's always there, and he's updated with everything. And he was like our Mr. Hookup guy.
He likes music, so therefore that makes him.
No. He's a musician, and he has that appreciation for music, including Filipino music. And he got a lot of friends in the Philippines and really cool people. That's why I met other Filipino friends who were also, great people in the business, like music industry, showbiz, and all that, because of him.
What do they say about me? Am I a Filipino crap?
They also the same thing about Travis, but actually they say he is Filipino. That's another thing.
But it's very nice when people say that, but the reality is, man, I'm not trying to be Filipino. I'm not trying to be anything other than what I am because I like myself. And some of these TV shows that I'm on, and I'm sure when they have other people that aren't from the Philippines, they won't say things like goad them. I love the Philippines, but they really want to goad it out of you, and like some of it to the point of almost being insincere. And one thing that they like to have you say is like, oh, say this, you're American, but you're Filipino at heart. And like, first of all, I don't even know what that means. What does that? What is a Filipino at heart? I don't have a clue what that is.
Your heart pumps Filipino blood.
It's just kind of jingoistic stuff. And when you travel the world and stuff, you start to stop thinking of things so much in boundaries in terms of that, and you just kind of see people as this guy's cool, this guy's bad, this girl's nasty, oh this girl's really nice over here. You don't really think of people so much by country and stuff and that kind of thing. And I don't want to be Filipino, I want to be me, man.
That just tells you something, that Filipinos are, we have this strong sense of belongingness,
of pride
to our race, I guess. But
they like white people. Like, and now black people are going to get angry at me for saying that. The reason I talk about white people and I get hate from black, because I can't speak what it's like to be black. I can't speak on behalf of black people. Look, I'm not even the spokesperson for white people. I don't speak for all white people. I speak for myself, and people have gotten angry because there's times I've mentioned being white. Not like saying, haha, I'm better than you because I'm white, but just matter-of-factly stating a fact. Look, it's pretty obvious. And but I understand too, race is such a sensitive issue and people can easily be offended. But even as safe as I am, just like mentioning like that you're white or like you're talking about your own experience, like from that perspective, there's people get really offended and angry over it. And then they say you're a racist. And to me, it's just ridiculous, the whole thing. So I get a lot of racial hatred, mainly from black men directed at me, probably for a couple of years, mainly because of one particular video I have. But the bottom line is I've never went into creating a video with the mindset, hey, this is for white people, or hey, let's make this to make white people look good, or hey, let's exclude black people. That was never even on my mind. I was just at audience to enjoy. And there's people that say that I have, some people, they allege now that I have a racial agenda or racial motivations to, I guess, promote white people as being whatever. But look, if I was a white supremacist, and if my audience, if I was trying to appeal to the market of white supremacists hardcore, I'm probably in the wrong place. I'm pretty much the only white person around on a daily basis that I see. The only time I see a white guy is on TV or when I look in the mirror. It's about the only time I see a white person. So I'm in the wrong place if I'm trying to make videos for white racists And if I'm a white racist myself, I'm kind of, why would I have went to a place where there's no white people around? It just doesn't make any sense.
That's when you were talking and saying all these things, something came to mind. Like, what if I make this video? Since I get, it's a fact that many Americans or Caucasians, white people, Black, Caucasians, love or like Filipinas or Filipinos a lot. What if I make, why do white people or Americans love Filipinas? Will I also get the same reaction from, say, from other Asians? Sorry, I have to say it again. It was confusing. What if I say, why do Americans or Caucasians like Filipinas more than other Asians?
Well, I don't know that they do. I wouldn't say they do because I'd say, for starters,
Not just say
most Americans haven't even heard of the Philippines.
Really?
So how could they even prefer them to another type of Asian when they don't know they exist? When Americans think of Asians, they think Asia is only China and Japan. And that's all of Asia. So I don't think that most of them know. Maybe with the internet now and
dating websites.
Stuff like my views, dating, yeah. So
that's a big thing. Okay, well,
I work with him?
Sidu. Travis actually got to work with your cousin, Mark Anthony Fernandez.
That's not his cousin.
His cousin. Oh, okay. I'm kind of like reading it. His cousin. Oh, because Sidu lives there in Sidu's
I'll read the comment.
Mark Anthony Fernandez, movie star, his cousin lives here. He's my friend. He tells me so much. I love Philippines.
Filipino movie star. I worked with him. Right?
Yeah, that's for
some TV show.
A TV show on GMA. I can't remember.
Some piece of crap.
Of course
I'm
not.
I'm just kidding. It's whatever. I didn't really. I don't know that I really watched it other than the scenes that I was in. I'm well aware that when I make a lot of shows and stuff, people give me crap online because they're always making crappy Filipino TV shows. And look, I'm not under any illusion that they're great works of art by Western standards. But I try and have fun doing it, make a little bit of money, pay for your food or whatever for the week. And have fun with it and just have an experience with it. But I'm not under any illusions that these are great works of art. And maybe it's time to graduate and move back on to something else in terms of that. But I don't really judge it that way. Look, I know a lot of this stuff. It's not clearly good by Western standards. But look, man, if you were offered it, would you turn it down? No, you'd love to be doing it. A lot of those guys that leave those comments.
Yeah, if those guys leaving a comment, my question to them would be, why do you get offers like that? Do you get the opportunity to work like that? So just I guess just be thankful for what you get, what the opportunities you get. Get to work like that, and you're able to act, which is one of your passion and your gifts.
It reminds me. I subscribe to their YouTube channel, and I watch all the fights. But I also subscribe to their YouTube channel, and they have all these promotional videos. And there's a big fight tomorrow, and they have this like documentary series called Embedded, and they showed like one of the guys that's fighting tomorrow from Sacramento, Chad Mendez. Their camp, their group of guys that they train with, they're called Team Alpha Male. And they were having a 4th of July party on this boat on the river in Sacramento. And they're bros. Like, that's what they're known for, Team Alpha Male. They're muscular, like they're these short, muscular, like bro-type guys. They're partying on the boat for 4th of July, celebrating and throwing out. And there's all these comments on there. There's all these comments. Oh, Team Alpha Male. Those guys are a bunch of douches, especially Uriah Faber. Who's like their leader.
I like Uriah.
He's been to the Philippines a couple times.
Cool.
He just fought in the Philippines in the first UFC. He was in the main event, Uriah Faber. I love him, but all these comments were like, these guys are team alpha male. What a bunch of douches. Look at how they're douching out when they're on that boat. And it's like, man, if those guys invited you to come on the boat and party with them, as if you're going to say no to them. You know what I mean? Those guys would love to be on the boat partying with those dudes if they invited.
I know. Well, it's just, I think, a human thing that, not really, some people just get jealous or insecure, but if you should be a person with an open mind to just understand them and not just be affected by that kind of behavior.
But before we wrap up, predictions, even though I hate to do predictions, especially when I'm so torn over tomorrow's event, who's going to win in the main event, McGregor or Mendez? You don't care? You don't know?
No, I don't know yet, but
I'm not asking you what you know. Like, what do you think?
no, what I think. I think I'll go for who's the wrestler there?
Mendez.
I'll go for Mendez then. You influenced me.
You know.
But McGregor is like more of a character, like.
And he's so confident, and it sounds like he's not just talking about hype. What's really scary about McGregor is it seems like he truly believes everything he says about how great he is. It seems like, and he makes you believe it. It's almost like some sort of biblical or spiritual thing of speaking something into existence. But it's amazing too, because he's so popular. He's from Ireland, and because he's so popular, they've given him, it seems like, an easy road to the title where he never had to face any wrestlers. I think he's only ever fought one top 10 guy. So it's like they gave him the easy fast track to the title just because of his popularity. So he's been very dominant in all of his fights, but he hasn't been fighting the best competition. He's never even fought a wrestling-based fighter, to my knowledge. And Mendez is a heck of a wrestler. So I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm sure excited to find out. And that's what I'm going to be doing tomorrow. To me, it just doesn't feel like Sunday morning if there's no UFC fights to watch.
It completes your Sunday, huh?
Because I mean, in
Sunday
America,
for Philippine time.
In America, like these fights are on pay-per-view. Most people don't watch them, but here they air on free TV. Also in the United States, they show on Saturday nights, but here they do air on Sunday mornings. So it's like these comments are all going out of order. Makes it hard to read them.
I noticed that when it's new, it's on top, but
now it's all out of order.
After a few seconds or minutes,
there's one 44 seconds.
To the bottom.
There's one on top. 44 seconds ago, then 45 minutes ago, then 26 minutes ago. Like it's like they're all out of order. But this was. What would you like to say?
Let's just welcome the other people joining us right now. Let me see. Let me look at the names.
Of who?
Just go up. Let me say hi. Welcome to.
I was thinking though this was an experimental broadcast. If this worked as I would have liked, this isn't the usual type of live show that we do. So I think it's a good time to wrap it up. And hopefully you guys had fun watching this, even if you're watching it on the recording. And thank you guys so much. We'll be back with more good content. And in the meantime, there's a lot on this channel for you to go through. So thanks, guys.